Awesome. Hi, Sandy. Thank you for being here. So before we get started on our interview, I would just love for you to state your name and a little bit about your organization.
All right. I'm Sandy Sohcot. I'm based in San Francisco. The organization that I originated and have been running, it's called The World as It Could Be, Human Rights Education Program. We are currently a project of the Alameda County Deputy Sheriff's Activities League. That's our umbrella nonprofit. The World as It Could Be has as its overall goal to raise awareness about the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and its continuing relevance to support positive social change. And our main program component is providing curriculum that is geared to high school students, where learning about the Universal Declaration is part of general standards for social studies, particularly in California. Originally, it was the 11th grade requiring that it be taught, and then in other years as part of US history or world history that it be taught. So we have curriculum that uses the creative arts and a culminating presentation as integral ingredients to deepening learning about the Universal Declaration, why it continues to be relevant, and how students want to make a commitment to furthering its principles for themselves and their immediate communities.
Amazing. Thank you so much for all the work you do. All right, so we'll hop into the profile questions. So please describe your HREP work.
My HRE, I'm sorry. I
didn't
quite, yes. The HRE what work?
No worries. Please describe your human rights education and training related work.
Well, I think what we do, interestingly, when I first began this program in 2006, I was running this foundation called the Rex Foundation, which was started by the rock and roll group, the Grateful Dead. And in my effort what got this going was wanting to bring attention to the human rights framework, to bring more awareness among all of the community of people who supported the Rex Foundation. And I did not have terminology for human rights education. I was just attempting to have people understand that human rights was a way of connecting different efforts, whether it would be disability rights or women's rights or any area of trying to further the betterment of people. And I'd say that it was my participating in 2011 at the conference that started HRE USA that I began to put the terminology of what we were doing as human rights education. So that is what we do. I mean, our whole emphasis is providing tools for educators to use to help their students better grasp the principles of human rights and how they relate to their own personal development and their engagement in the community. So we are, I think, it's kind of one and the same of what we're doing is human rights education.
Absolutely. It sounds like it's the basis of all of your work. Totally. All right. So on to the next question. It's going to be, what is one aspect of your human rights education work that you're especially proud of?
I think that the primary area that I'm particularly proud of is we're bringing more attention to the role of the creative arts as part of a quality educational experience for students as well as for teachers, and also incorporating the idea of how important it is for young people to have an opportunity to go through what we call a rite of passage, to have an opportunity to present to their communities through a culminating presentation what they've learned. That those two ingredients of our curriculum are what make our curriculum unique and what I'm very proud we're bringing to the world of education and to the experience our students have, where we have seen what they experience as being so positive in their life, and to hear young people talk about what it has meant to them.
Absolutely. And I've benefited definitely from creative arts in that intersection too. So I agree with you. All right. So our next question is going to be, why do you think human rights education and training is important?
I think that understanding the principles of human rights for all ages of people is important, because it really lays the groundwork for understanding why we should respect each person and value their existence, and realize that being human means that there are certain standards that we all deserve to experience, and that bring this attention is vital, so that we can understand why is it important to have empathy, why is it important to even help our own development, like why is it important to be mindful and conscious of the world around us. And it's all connected to realizing that we must interact with each other as human beings, and that we are part of even an international agreement that this is what all human beings should experience. And getting that across to people as to how this relates to everything we do, I think is essential.
Absolutely. Thank you. And so our last question is going to be, how has your connection to HRE USA made a difference to you and your work?
I've been very honored and happy to be part of HRE USA. I actually was there, as I said, at the 2011 conference that gave rise to HRE USA. So I've been a part of it from the beginning. I think that from my professional perspective, it's been vital in giving, in allowing more collaborations with people. I feel that I've enjoyed the benefits of, like, because of my involvement with HRE USA, I've been involved with the NCSS Human Rights Education Community, where we've had the opportunity to collaborate on developing teaching guides that we think are helpful, like looking at the human rights perspective on the importance of voting and being involved in in one's government, to understanding why participating in one's government is essential to furthering racial equity. So I feel like these are opportunities that I've enjoyed because of my involvement with HRE USA.
Amazing. And we're so glad to hear that and to have you part of that networking, contributing to that collaboration. So thank you. All right.